Hello and welcome back. I'm Joe and this is Workers and Resources Soviet Republic Season 6, the realistic season. Things are looking up. We are making some money. We are not hurting, but we could do a lot better. And I think there are a couple things here that I can do to speed up our general process a little bit. And, well, there's a lot of stuff to build. So, I understand some of you skip the intros, so that's fine. Don't worry, it's not illegal. But yeah, what are we gonna do today? We're gonna figure out how to make the most of everything, because right now, the train is coming in. And the train is going to pick up 219 tons of bauxite out of 660. It's doing okay, but I can actually look at our production and see something interesting. If we look at last month, that's a February month. Now remember, this is still a snow month, mostly a snow month. In the snow month, we produced, well, one train load, a little more than that, but one train load of bauxite. Cool. We also produced the equivalent of raw bauxite, so we're not behind on the raw bauxite production with these two bauxite mines that we have sitting here, which is awesome. That is really good. That is really good news, because that means that we can do this. Let's see, these guys. You're currently building the large aggregate storage, the conveyor engine, like things over here, but they're not producing much. And, well, I have a couple ideas of why that is. Let's just turn this all off, because honestly, that's fine. There's still a construction office over here that I would like to build. What do you need? You just need some workers and mechanisms. That is fine. Let's turn you off for right now, because we have bigger fish to fry. The first thing that I want to do with what I just showed you is make more bauxite. And we're going to produce more bauxite right here. How we're going to do that? Pretty simple. We are producing more than enough for what we need. We only need a total of 50 people working here. And we can arrange that. I will set up a separate bus line once this is all ready to go. But we have everything that we need. There are no real shortcomings here. Right now we don't have workers there, but the workers already coming in from there. I will figure out how many buses it will take, and we need a bus with 50 capacity, which exists. That's not a problem. How many buses I need to have this one running all month long without any downtime, and that will help a lot. But for right now, that's not really a thing, but we'll figure that out soon enough. Trust me, it'll be fine. But that's the first one that we need. The second thing that we need to actually start producing is this one is slowly filling up, and that's where these guys get their materials from. Obviously, it's a relatively long distance to get there, but it's not as long as going to the border, which is a good thing. Microphone is not in the right spot, I don't think. So that's helping, and that's good. But once this actually all runs and is good to go, we need to pick up materials from here. And the most materials that we want are food and clothing, and actually make sure that all works. So what do we have here? You have not started yet. I like that, because that means technical office. You're not what I want to build there, because I would like to build my first real distribution office. Small distribution offices do not belong in situations like this. Very, very simply put, I do not recommend going small. I'm thinking if I want to put something else here, but I really don't. I do want the technical service office that we just built, or that we just destroyed, but not where it was, because this has a direct line to this cargo station, which is super important. That's where everything is going to be centered around. And I will use this distribution office in the beginning to fill up my construction needs, which is very, very important. Later on, we will turn this into a simple food delivery service, or food and clothing, like city demands, everything that the city needs. But for right now, it's going to fill up all our materials that we need, because there is a lot of stuff to build. Like, all of this needs to be built at some point in the near future. So we need materials, but we also need the technical service somewhere. So how about we put that? I don't see a good reason why we can't put that here. It doesn't feel wrong. I don't want this one to get built right now, but we can definitely, absolutely start with the gravel road here. That's not a problem. Anything else in this corner? Yeah. We will have fuel delivered to these two guys. However, I'm going to do that. I don't know yet. I should probably put a fuel distribution office right at the beginning of the map, right at customs house, but not right now. Not right now, but we will need actual real fuel stations, otherwise we run out of capacity very, very fast, and we don't want that. So how about we put one here? Doesn't feel terrible. I always like to give myself a little extra room, and actually I don't hate, well, I don't hate the one-way gas stations, these guys. They have their place, but this city I don't expect to have a lot of traffic. And honestly, no. This is a terrible spot because this one's gonna get fuel, this one's gonna get fuel by themselves. There will be, let's see here. There are buses going here. Well, this one looks like a pretty empty space. We could probably use that. I'm looking at who else does need fuel. This guy needs fuel. This guy needs fuel. This is the hospital. This is the police station. This is the secret police. So all of them need fuel unless I deliver straight to them, which we had an argument about that not too long ago. And you know who you are. I think it's Evgeny. Maybe. I don't remember. But we had an argument about this, and the consensus was pretty much it is worth it to just deliver fuel to these guys instead of making them go out to a fuel station. So maybe for right now, I'll just leave it as is, and we are not going to add an extra fuel station. Maybe that's fine. Yep, that's okay. Yes, I'm okay with that. You, distribution office, get assigned to the construction offices over here because that needs to get done ASAP. Now, what do we see over here? What is going on over here? Cool. You are filling up, and you are. Yeah, we're looking at about once a month. Once a month right now. And if I can double that to twice a month and make 100,000, that is going to make a big dent because it doesn't cost that much to have our foreign manpower come in. So if we look at last month, we exported this one, 660 tons, one train load. Cool, we just figured that out. And foreign manpower, work days, we only spend 4,000. 4,000 plus a little bit of fuel is all we spend to make 50K. So I don't even think we're going to double this, but even if we double this, that's a big return. That's a 10x return on bauxite, which is totally worth it. And fuel, again, the train is already running. We're just doing the train running twice. That's all fine. I don't think we have to worry about that math at all. These guys, I don't know what I'm going to do with them yet. For right now, we'll just turn them off. But we have a bunch of dump trucks sitting there that we could use for something useful eventually down in the future. We have some gravel sitting here. That's actually really good. I would like to see this distribution office. You're delivering gravel until you're somewhat full. Let's make you a little fuller because once we get started on all of this, life is going to be a little harder. And I think I'm going to just forward gravel with the dump trucks that we have over here to this setup once we are ready, which we are not ready right now because there are manpower problems. Cool. Let's see what we have going on right here. We just need steel. That's actually a good thing. Oh yeah, I did destroy the open storage that we had sitting here for a while because, well, we didn't need it anymore, so it's gone. Where are you guys going? Doesn't really matter. So we have almost all the steel that we need. Let's turn the priority up on you and turn the priority up on you because I would like these done. Once they are done, I can get a better feel on the bus setup that we need to make all of this work. The buses will probably start overloading our customs house a little bit, but that's just a side effect, I guess. This will be a problem. Here's the thing. Here's the thing that I have not figured out yet, and maybe someone can tell me. This number of workers here fluctuates a lot. I've seen it as high as in the hundreds, but now I'm seeing it really, really low. I don't know if I get new workers, like, am I getting 8 workers every day? Is that what's going on? Are we getting, oh, well, 7. Maybe that's it. Maybe every day. Part of that. No, it's like it's random, but I don't know what affects that number. What makes that number tick up? Because right now nothing, it hasn't ticked up for a little while. Interesting. I'm looking, ticked up by 1, that's nothing. I'm looking at this counter up here, and it's not moving as fast as I would expect it. So no, I don't know what makes us get more foreign workers. Then there's another bus coming in, and you want to pick up 80 people, but you're only going to get 35. I know that for a while the buses were completely full. And I don't think there has been an update recently that would have changed any mechanics around this. So I don't know. And if we don't get enough workers, and maybe I have to start looking for another custom cells that we can actually reach, or build a passenger harbor with a passenger boat and bring in some workers from beyond, because that should work. We could also do the same thing with a helicopter, but that does not feel kosher. Let's see here. Where's the other customs house if I would try to do that? There's one right here. You know what? I do not believe that this is close enough for a bus to deliver people out to where I need them, especially in the winter. We could infinitely extend the range of them, but also there's this big mountain here, and I think just driving around the mountain is going to probably take 8 hours. Then you have to jump over here, over this little river. Then you have to get into our highway system, and then you have to get out. Yeah, that's not going to work. I could do it with a train, but there's no way I'm going to set a train on that little setup right there. So that's just not going to do anything. But yeah, I need to figure out what makes us get extra workers here, because we are paying okay. I don't think that's a problem. But we're not getting exactly what I need. It just feels like a random number. I don't know what's going on here. Maybe the more buses we send at it, the better. Maybe that's exactly the opposite of what we should do. I don't know. But we have to figure it out fast. I just need that number to be bigger, much bigger. I need it to be in the hundreds again, please. Because, yeah, I don't think it's an infinite amount. And if the answer is we can only get 50 people at a time, then, well, I have to figure out something else to start building our city, because that's not going to cut it. Not at all. But hey, let's get this thing moving for now. Yeah, you're building, you're doing your thing. Let's see what happens. Alright, let's switch this up. I do want the money, but I need this thing to actually get done faster. So we're just going to remove workers going back to the bauxite mine for the time being, because that should give us a lot more workers on the construction side at the same time, and that's important right now. So, yeah. So I've been watching this number the whole time. That's why the UI was not turned off. And we're actually going to pause it right now because, well, does it really matter? No, just continue doing what you're doing. Where is my bus line? Here's my bus line. I thought I was going to change it so that I need a separate, well, bus line for this. Now, honestly, I feel like I still need a separate bus line, but let me explain why I'm not sure that is absolutely necessary. A separate bus line is good if I have the capacity for foreign workers that I need. I don't. I did not see the foreign worker count go over 30. Well, not go over 50, I guess, is the highest, was in the 40s. What am I trying to say? There are not enough workers available to pick up anywhere, and 30 seemed like a very common number that I saw. 40 was rare. Above 20 was relatively common. So I'm expecting this to get a little higher just before we, actually not in this case. So that happened too. But what that tells me is I should pick a bus that can fit this behavior. We have a 52 here, 60, 40. This is a really nice bus because it's faster, but we don't have a road that can support that. So it's not really necessary to go that small. There are later on, there's a school bus. There's a yellow bus that is not a mod that has 32 workers. That will be perfect right here, but we don't have that option. So what we're going to do is we're going to pick up 2 more regular buses because I just need to increase the frequency. And I'm hoping doing that alone will let our, I want this guy, will let our buses be relatively full most of the time, and with that get the most workers to the workstation whenever appropriate. This was funny. I didn't tell them that they can go to or that they can set up on their line, but they did anyways. But yes, so this is what we have. That's not bad. I will still try to keep an eye on the foreign workforce that comes through here, because the other problem that we're going to run into, which we have run into many times, is that the workers just don't make it to the bus stop and don't stay there for very long. That is not helpful at all. So we have to make sure that doesn't slow us down. Yeah, we don't have workers here, but that is more a problem of letting the buses run through a couple times. Maybe this is still one of the old buses. Yeah, this is an 80 capacity bus. If we let the buses run through, we can see if most of our production lines can actually run. And I don't know, I may need an airport to make this work. The problem with an airport is I need workers to house the towers, the airport tower, and that, well, we don't have workers available right now. There is a secondary option, which is helicopters. Helicopters are stupid expensive at first, but they are also very heavy on taking fuel, and that itself is also a little scary. Ooh, we're getting some workers in, good. But these buses are the back-to-back buses from earlier, so they don't really count. Do we get any workers? Yeah, they will be unloaded here. Nose is itchy as usual, because it's convenient or something. But yeah, they haven't worked with the bus end station yet, so once this bus is parked there, the bus end station should actually start doing its thing, and that's when I want to see if these housing or these units all kind of behave appropriate. Now, if you didn't know this, foreign workers leave earlier or quicker than your actual workforce. So if you have a choice between actual workforce and foreign workers, always pick your own workers, because the 8 hours go by much slower than the other way around. Okay, now the buses are parked there. This is now the bedding in phase, and I just want to see what happens. So let the buses roll, and we'll see if there is a chance that we get these number of workers close to not zero most of the time. So there are a couple things happening here. Let's pause it really quick. There was a new update to logistics on your vehicles when they go somewhere, but that's just part of it. I'm going to just follow this guy. It's in this bus and see what it does. So he comes out here. I'm assuming you're going to get dropped off at this bauxite plant. It's over here, and you are at the bauxite plant. Look at this working shift. It sprints. And by the time the bus is leaving, or by the time the bus gets to the next bauxite thing, which is right here, it's effectively 8 hours over. This is running a lot faster than how 8 hours really run, but it's really annoying. Actually, it's staying there a little longer than I expected, but halftime is over. The bus is just about to leave. Well, you can see the bus. And there's no one on the bus right now. That has another significance. But the working shift is almost over by the time the bus makes it back to the bus end station, which is, hey, that's what it is, and it's fine, and we're still getting stuff out of here. The problem is the bus doesn't go back to the bus stations. Why is that? Because the bus stations are set up so that... what am I trying to say here? The buses will not go somewhere if they don't have anyone to drop off, if all they're doing is dropping off at a location. So because the bus is already empty, which means we never have enough foreign workers sitting at the customs house to fill up a bus beyond 50 people, and we never have workers sitting around or staying around long enough for the second bus to arrive here, all buses will always empty out every single time, which means we don't have any workers available to get any work done. That is slightly unfortunate. So yeah, we are sitting now at 2 options. So there's only 6 workers sitting there, and that's just not enough. We are producing really good. I'm pretty sure about that. How's our, yeah, the train just left. That's good. Let's see how much material we have sitting here when the train comes back, because that will be important. Okay, train is coming back. It is important to remember that earlier we had about 240 tons of bauxite, and as you can see, we are not producing significantly more than that. We are producing more, but we also added a lot of extra buses on the same line. So I think the production earlier was about 660-ish, like 688. Now the production for last month was 738. And for this month, which is almost over, and I'm assuming that this month is mostly with the 2 bauxite processing plants here, will tell us we haven't doubled it. We are producing more. We are producing more. So whatever we're doing here is actually giving us more. But we're also taking away the whole chance of using foreign workers to build our republic. Now that's a little unfortunate. What options do we have here? Do I have an option to build a very small worker camp? We have some money. We have some money sitting here. We could try to build a very small city. You don't want to build a very small city here because there is pollution. These guys are putting out pollution, and that is not helpful. Last month, let's see, 1,000. So yeah, we increased it by about at least a third of material, maybe a little more than that. But yeah, if we build a city right here that people could actually be used for the workforce, that would not be helpful. So building a city here is more suitable, but to build a core city, you need a good amount of workers. What do we need? I want to consider this seriously. I don't know that we can do. I need a fire station. That is about 40 people times 3 shifts. That's 120, unless you want to micromanage it, because someone pointed out on one of the comments that you only need workers in the fire station to put out the fire. The vehicles will drive to the fire themselves, but they will only do something if there's a firefighter in the fire station. So you could micromanage this and only assign workers to the fire station when you actually need it. So let's say 40 people is probably fine. A hospital. Yeah, we need a hospital. That's very expensive. Maybe we don't need a hospital right away if we need heat. We need at least heat. And heat is expensive and requires stuff to come in, but if we don't have heat, we need a hospital for sure. Even the small heating plant it's not super expensive, but it produces pollution, and we need to find a way to actually deliver materials out here. So that's not going to be super helpful. I don't know. My best gut reaction to all of this is get a helicopter in. I don't love it, but a helicopter will allow you to effectively expand your worker population from one customs house to anything beyond the border, and that should generally yield a lot more workers for our zone here. And honestly, without that, I want to speed this up. The nice thing is that a helicopter will cost a lot of money. That is good. Passenger heli platform, yes. That is great, because that means we actually get a sort of penalty for using a helicopter. So I don't feel like that is terrible. I don't love that is the solution that I'm using here, but it does not feel inappropriate. And it makes my life a little easier, but it also makes, I think, the series a little more watchable. So I guess we're gonna assign this, yes, to that group. And ooh, I just had a brain fart, because I was just like, well, if I just assign this guy that has all the buses to the border for the workers, then it may work. We still don't have more workers available, and there's still a chance that when they go out here, they don't get any workers to do anything with. But there's still a good chance that they will get workers when they actually need something. So yeah, we have this guy, we have the helicopter platform for passengers, and this will just be temporary. It would be really cool if there was a mod version for this, but obviously that's not how it works. You cannot purchase a helicopter on this. There was a time when I played when I always said you cannot get a heliport without an airport. Well, that's not going to happen this time. I need the heliport to be available for this general area. Where do I want to put you? It really doesn't matter. But where do I want to put you? Does it look cool if I built you up here on the mountain? Probably not. I guess over here is just fine. It's just a temporary solution. I need this to be able to get a helicopter bought, and I need this to make everything, well, function, because without the helicopter we cannot get enough workers here. I explained this now 5 times, so I guess let's just let this happen. I don't think there are any other priorities really happening, so yeah, that's fine. But build them. This bus looked like he just came home without even having any workers available to bring to the bauxite plant, which is also a little scary. But all this tells me is, with one customs house, I have maxed out with the number of workers that I have right now, which is less than 50. This is not good. Why? Oh, you did drop some off. Less than 50. 50 workers is, it appears, is what we can afford for our customs house. Maybe that's a little different for different sizes of customs houses. This one is just a single one. Looks like about the same numbers, so maybe there's some correlation here. We are on the NATO side. Does NATO do any better? 24. Nope. This doesn't feel like it's making a huge difference. I do wonder, though, if someone can tell me that, that'd be great. I do wonder if, let's see here, if the tourist rating matters for the number of workers that you get. Yeah, these are all in the 30s. Definitely less than 50 per truckload, which, yeah, no, what I'm doing right now is the fastest way forward. But you can call this cheating. But I'm just playing the game by the rules that the game is putting out. So I guess it's not cheating that bad. Maybe it is. I don't know. But let's build. Wonderful. So we got it done. Do I feel good about this? Yes. I think it's within the game mechanics, and I do try to play mostly vanilla, so I don't feel horrible about what I just did. But I do understand if some of you may feel differently. Completely. Entirely. It's fine. You're not wrong. So, yeah. We're going to bring fuel here, because why not? And here's another thing that I just realized. I'm not going to use the NATO money for anything in the near future. So I had a look around, and you may have seen that. Ooh, I have the sky crane, but you're not a helicopter for passengers. That's not helpful. Otherwise, I would love to use this, but you cannot load people. So we have the G31. Doesn't cost a lot. Actually, went up in price more than I thought it would, but doesn't cost a lot. 14 passengers is 2 of these microbuses full, which is not terrible. But it's cheap. We do have a little bit of money, so the other the other helicopters are available, like this 47 passenger Mi6 for only 139. We do have enough money for one of these right now. See, in my head, I'm trying to think, or I'm trying to justify doing this or not doing this. I know that the engine power is the main the main reason why machines consume the amount of fuel that they do. And this one has an engine power of 8,000, rounding. The NATO side, the G31, has an engine power of 1350. So technically, let's say I can buy 7 of these or one of the other ones. 7 of these will give me 70 plus 14 plus 70 plus 28. So almost 100 passengers per round trip for a price that is cheaper than the other one. That feels like the better deal, because this one should be using 7 times less fuel, approximately. And that means I can get 7 of these, which has a higher frequency anyways, which is better for us because the helicopter doesn't just stop at the border. It goes past the border. Let's see, on this side. It goes past the border, and then eventually it turns around and comes back. So it's not an instant turnaround. So having more than just one helicopter out there is to your advantage. So I decided I don't hate that scenario. We will still run into the problem of passengers probably leaving or moving back and forth every, 12 minutes. But if I split this out so that 50% go to each side, maybe that's not a problem anymore. The bus line that I have set up here, and let's see, maybe, if this bus is about to leave when this bus is about to come in, it looks like I have one bus too many on this setup. Still not moving. I don't like that. I have to look at this for a little while because you don't really want 2 buses parked here for too long. You can have 1 bus parked there and then you can adjust it. But now I have 2 buses parked there for relatively long. Yeah. Let's see. Oh no, there's some math in here. It's not always a round number. It doesn't always happen the same way. But I should keep an eye on that. Where is my first helicopter? Would you mind showing up wherever you are? This one's also not the fastest. I never used this one, but there you are. Looks like an old Coast Guard helicopter, maybe. But yeah, that makes me happy that we have one now. So what we have to do is tell you to go to the Soviet side and then go to this drop-off. Unload people here. We don't even have to transfer because reasons, and you should be good to go. Get out of here. And then hire the next one. This is going to take a while. I'm going to get at least 6, but that's just going to be a thing. And there's no helicopter end station if you're wondering, so it's not going to be evened out at all, but that's fine. This should give us some workers here, and once we have the workers there, we can start, or we can continue building this stuff out by our construction zone, which is important. So I think I can, yeah, there's snow in roads. It's just, right now is not a good time to drive very far. But that's okay. Let's get you assigned to maybe this one. I don't know. They can figure it out. But no, I don't hate what's going on right now. We have enough fuel sitting here. That is excellent. You can only hold 30 tons. That's interesting. Half of that is 15 though, and our current fuel truck can only hold 12 tons, so that all checks out. Great. Yeah, we're gonna fill this up a little bit, and that may be the end of this winter period, and then we can start actually building and constructing a bunch of things. I don't know if you saw that, but I also paid off our loan, which is great. Yeah, things aren't looking bad, and after this winter we will actually look at our economy again like we did at the beginning. So let's get a couple more helicopters. Wow, I did not expect this, but I think I have 5 helicopters on here now. Let's see, where are you? Not the distribution office, give me a helicopter. Yes, I have 5 helicopters going here now. They are capable of filling up both of the bus platforms to the brim, which is awesome, honestly. Because that means I can now assign, I can assign that one, that's fine. I can assign this one to get some of the workers that we don't necessarily need right, well, there's only 25 going here, it doesn't matter. Some of the workers can go over here, so now we have overflow. 5 helicopters seem to do just fine for all of this. So now we have the workforce that we need to make stuff happening, plus we have the box side to back it up. I did assign them to this guy already, so that got done really fast, which is awesome. Let's get the next construction office going because we will need that. I would like to move the general material gathering over here. What are you supposed to do? You're supposed to do all this. 2 road cargo station. Yes, you are You're my friend. I want all of you to come over here. Very good. And then we can actually delete this one once you get out of there. Okay, cool. Stop it, demolish it. Great. Now we have one more distribution office set up. Great. We have this one. You are supposed to do everything that you can and unload. Oh, this is the rare construction office over here, which we haven't touched in a while. We may not touch for a while. But that's good to know. You're there, and then you also unload aggregate storage stuff. Yeah, we're just gonna relocate you. We're gonna leave the dump trucks there, even though I don't think we're gonna need them, but just in case. And now we have 3 flatbeds, which is great. Do I see number 4? Number 4 over here would be your gravel and unloading bauxite mines. This is the gas station guy, yeah. You will probably be concentrated just on fuel very soon. So yeah, we just have all of you come out here. And now we have something like 4 vehicles coming out there doing their thing, which is a good start. I'm not going to start delivering fuel right away because they should be able to go out to the border house and, well, fill up with fuel right here. That's my hope, at least. The 4 trucks. 2 covered holds, so that's all excellent. I would like you to start to just unloading here. Get me relatively full. I'm hoping that will just mean that most of the time the trucks are driving around. So you're loading up there and you bring everything that I want to load from the customs house. I would like to see some trucks arrive there. Because, yeah, currently this one accepts really everything which we don't want, and this one accepts more things than what we actually need. So let's just turn this off. We don't need wood, we don't need uranium. And those numbers look pretty acceptable. You're getting something for construction office, that's great. But yeah, once you get here, I will fix the customs house and only set up the things that I actually care about. Ooh, new vehicle type. This looks like a mod though. So that's fine. Yes, how are we doing over here? Perfect. We are actually getting people out. This one is probably going to be more full most of the time. This bus probably does not drop off people as often on for this processing plant over here. You don't have drinking water. Yeah, it's fine. It's just a thing in the winter. That's a problem. New vehicle, cool. But yeah, no, we have workers, which that was really the problem that we had, which is no longer a problem anymore. I would like to see when the train comes back. Are we closer to half full than we were before? Maybe. How are we doing here? Fine. There's no real problem here. It looks like we are just producing the amount that we are consuming, which is, honestly, that is perfect. That's what you should want, because then you don't even need an in-between storage, but we have one anyways because we can. Where is our train? Oh, you're just coming back. That means you're gonna have a pretty full load by the time you get back to our situation over there, right? While we're doing this, hey, did you know that I have a Patreon? I don't post as much as I want to, but there's definitely stuff on there that you may care about. I do try to post a little bit extra details, at least on the schedules, when I post the schedules, which doesn't happen all the time, but there's generally some background information on there that I try to throw in there whenever I can. Plus, you get to be on the intro honor roll, and maybe that's something you care about. I don't know. 300, almost 400 tons of bauxite by the time it gets here. That is pretty good, and that timing, I must say, was impeccable. Impeccable timing right there, but yeah. These guys are producing, you're all doing the things that I need you to do. The construction office is completed. I don't know what I want to put in here yet, but that's fine. Cool. I want to unload steel, prefab, bricks, boards, mechanical, electronic components. Cool. That's what you can start with, load it from here, and I just did that so when they start, they're not going to get anything that I don't care about. Now I'm just going to set this up this way so I can see what's happening, and I will turn off this behavior because it's already steered by what the customs house can load. And now they should take care of all the small things that we need, like materials. Cool. That should mean we can start, or finish, I should say, constructing this whole general area. which is just those guys, that guy. I think I decided that the bitumen tank is a must because the... Oh, this one's done. The bitumen tank is a must because the asphalt plant only has one parking spot and we cannot park there to wait until unloaded. So that's what we have to do. That is fine. There's a substation, there's a sewage. Sewage. Does sewage not get collected? No, this is water. This is water in. No, this should be fine. As long as this... Ugh, too many buttons. As long as this substation over here is somewhat in range to the buildings that we have over here, we shouldn't have big issues. How are we doing over here? I think we could choose to have another helicopter coming in there. And then, yeah, these are mods, sadly. Have one more helicopter because, well, if we siphon off all the workers for the bauxite mines already, then that's that. But I would like to have the money from the bauxite mines, so that's important. What are we doing now? 1100. So we are going down in production, which is not a bad thing, honestly, because we're going to start constructing so much right now that I probably can turn off this the siphon over here permanently for a while, to just make sure that we get all the things constructed that we care about. And once we have our own workers, once we have our own citizens, none of this is a real problem anymore. So I'm sort of looking forward to solving that problem. Otherwise, the easiest thing to do right now is just build out this bauxite plant up here because it's already connected to something that's really easy. Which, in hindsight, I'm just looking at this now. Yeah, do it. Get this done, because then it's done. We may even have power going out there from this power, from this windmill power plant. Cool. I like it. I like what we're doing right now. Couple workers there, couple workers there. Everything is nice and slow. Yes, I would like a technical service done, but winters are just not good for anyone. It's just the way it is, but we're almost out of winter, and I'm really surprised at the money that we're making. Obviously, we haven't imported a lot, and I only spent 200,000 on helicopters so far. That doesn't feel outrageous either. But one thing that we can see is our export is actually going down. So our total export price, meaning there's some math that you can do to figure out when stuff is worth the most, because inflation and supply demand gets taken into account. I know that we got over 50,000 for something before, and now we're at 45,000. So maybe what I just did was a terrible decision, and I'm actually going to take this one off, because the less we export then, the more money we may make for it for longer. And that's important too. We don't just want to start wasting stuff. So yeah, let's just let this do its thing. You are filling up with whatever you want again. At halftime, you had a good number. What do we have going for bauxite here? I would like to see current prices. Yes, bauxite. Yes, for all bauxite. As you can see, that was a clear peak, and now we're currently falling down. So yeah, you don't want to overdo that. We don't have ships right now that we could use to adjust that whole behavior, but that's okay. So these guys are the last things that are getting done. And once this is done, I think we are more than ready to jump on constructing the actual city. One thing that I probably want out here, since we have asphalt and concrete coming from this group, I will need the extra helicopter, which I haven't sent out yet, to bring more workers in, because the workers that are here, I will siphon off and bring them into this area, so we generally have what we need for production. But we also want a construction office just out here to be able to get us what we need out of these guys. I don't see a need for a gravel road for this construction office, but it is a lot easier to have the cement trucks right next to the cement and asphalt production zones and get your things working that way than having them really far away. So this should help speed up things even more for everything. Gravel-wise, I don't know when we're going to turn that on. For right now, gravel is not the biggest expense, but once we start building something, I may feel different about that, and that is just the way of the game. How we're doing here, just 30 people sitting there, that's fine. How we're doing on production for the last month using the helicopter substitutions or the helicopter subsidization. 1300, yep, we just doubled what one output is, and that's neat, I think, which is fine. Yeah, no, that's good. Are you almost full? You are almost full, excellent. We're gonna make another 45,000. Yeah, okay, this has to get finished very quickly. I would like this one actually get a higher priority. I would also like winter to be over, 4 more days. That's not terrible. And these guys have a lot to do, as you can see. Unfinished conveyor, that makes sense. Unfinished pipeline, yeah, sure. The silo, sure, get that one done so we don't have to wait for more stuff. I like it. I like where we are. Yeah. I don't know. I haven't decided if we're gonna do the city as a full time lapse until everything is done, because there is some micromanagement that I would like to do with that. Or if I just do what I always do when I say I'm doing a time lapse and not do a time lapse. I don't know. But thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate it. And I'll see you again in the next episode, hopefully with more action.